main idea behind Capstone Project Part 3 is looking at the art of link building or getting people to link to your website. Um, the general project description is up here throughout all the Capstone project. The one we're focusing on here is that we're going to go ahead and create a PowerPoint slideshow that is going to reference 5 websites that you're going to, that will link back to your website. Now, every time you pick a website, you're going to go ahead and provide the URL of the website. And then you're going to provide a little brief, or not a little, but you're going to provide an explanation as to why the website is valuable for you to link to it. And then, of course, this portion here is going to be dependent on the website you pick, but you're going to explain a little bit of why you want, or excuse me, how you will contact that website and see if they're going to be interested in linking your website on their page. Of course, the PowerPoint needs to be a minimum of 7 slides and a maximum of 10. And it's going to be a PowerPoint presentation file you submit. And the thing that I wanted to show off here, close that guy out, is this guy here. There we go. I created a few slides that go ahead and document the process that you could go through when you're trying to find the slides that you would like, the website that you want to link to. So let me pull up this guy here. And for my example here, I went ahead and I referenced the Black Dog Gelato website to use in just this example. And I only linked to one website, but I want to show a general idea of how you can go about doing this using some of the tools we talked about throughout the quarter so far. So again, the purpose of this capstone is we want to go ahead and research 5 other websites that you feel will be helpful. And the general idea is that these websites should be secure, useful, and reliable for us to use them. And they also, this second portion here, they can either be like a newspaper website, or you could also have a similar company or something like that as well. But usually companies don't like advertising competition on their own websites. But that might change dependent on what you're doing, right? Let's just say that you're doing a nonprofit company. I'm sure nonprofit companies don't mind, or they might, I'm not sure, but they might not have a big of an issue as linking other nonprofits on there. But for our purposes here with our capstone, I'm going to say, okay, let's just say that I created this idea of Black Dog Gelato, which is a Chicago-based gelato ice cream shop. And what I want to do here is figure out, and again, because we're starting off with no website or URL from these guys, you don't need to have a specific one picked up. But let's just say that you created a gelato ice cream shop in Chicago for your capstone project. You can go ahead and try to find out what your competition has their links in. So to do that, what I'll do here is on Google, I'll go ahead and type in Open Link Profiler. And after I type in Open Link Profiler, and remember, we used this tool a bit earlier. Let's just say again, I said I want to create a gelato website in Chicago, gelato company in Chicago, and I know Black Dog Gelato is doing pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and check out what links that they have going on. So if I go to blackdoggelato.com to analyze the backlinks, we can see when we scroll down, we actually get a ton of backlinks from different websites that they have here. We have a few from NBC Chicago. We can see that they're kind of based in Ukrainian Village in Chicago here. And there's quite a few information here. And because this is because I'm not paying for this one, we can't get the link right away. But a little trick that we can do to actually get to the URL that you're talking about here is if you grab this piece of text at the top, and then you go back into your Google page here, and you go ahead and paste that in, you'll see that we get Black Dog Gelato at the start. We get it a few times, but if we scroll down a bit, we actually get a link to the chicagoreader.com, which is the same one that is linked here. And then if I go ahead and click on Chicago Reader, I now see that I get the backlink that they're talking about. And where is the backlink that they're referencing? Well, let's try to look for it here. Where's that guy? Yep, right here. Do you guys see the URL right here? So essentially that is the backlink that is posted here, the Black Dog Gelato site. And if we open this one up, we can see we get to their website. And now this is the portion that's kind of up to you guys. So I just found a website that has a backlink to my competition, and now I'm going to try to think. Okay, do I want to be on this website here? Like, do I think that this will be a solid one to do it? Well, I have to think a bit about my company. I am wanting my ice cream to be based in Chicago, and this is the Chicago Reader. So my target audience is there with this newspaper. So I have the Chicago audience, and I can get a bit of information here. I can see that this newspaper is going to post my hours. It's going to post a pretty nice small review that contains a bit of information. It's going to post the features that are a part of it. It posts how expensive, maybe it's on a scale of 5 or 3, and of course the payment type, and it has a link to where it's located. So there's actually quite a bit of information that is very helpful posted on its website. So I might want to go ahead and pick this guy as my website to backlink to. And of course, the slides that I'm showing here is just an example of how to get to it, what we just did there. But what we're doing here is you're going through this and trying to find specifically similar websites that we want to have as a backlink to ours. And again, I just went through this, apologies. Again, the question here is trying to ask, okay, is this going to be a website that I want to use for my my company? And of course, try to ask these questions. Is the website reputable? Are you going to get in trouble if someone knows that you're linking to this website? Do they have content that you feel is appropriate for your usage? Would you like to have your website posted here? I think the Chicago Readers, it's going to be pretty cool to say, hey, I'm in the Chicago Reader, this is my company. And then, of course, I believe the most important one as well would be, are you reaching the type of audience that you would like to have? And that's going to be crucial for the 5 websites that you have, because, again, you don't want links that are random. If you're on a tourist website and you click a link to a plumbing company, as we saw earlier, that's going to look a bit weird, and it's going to look like we're a bit more scammy or spammy. So you want to make sure that you have links to websites linking to you that are appropriate. And of course, if you think that the website you found is pretty solid for your criteria here, you could go ahead and list out in a certain slide that I'll show in the next page, these 3 attributes that we went through earlier. This is inside of the Capstone project. It's these 3 items here. But essentially, you're going to list out the URL of the website, an explanation of why you think this is a valuable website to link to yours, and a description on how you will contact the website to have them link to you. Now, this third portion where you're contacting them is going to be different for each website you pick. Some websites might have like a contact form built in. Some of them might have an account. And if we go, let's just try, as an example, building up one of my slides for the first website for link building. I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, this is the website that I want to link to. This is the URL for it. And then these 3 bullet points here are essentially some descriptions of why I think that it's useful. I believe this website is going to be useful because it's going to give me my business hours to the user and a review of my shop. It goes off and shows the specific features and payment types that I want people to see before they come in. And then most importantly, it's going to cater to my Chicago area. And that is where my audience, I want my audience to come from there. Now, the third portion, as I said, where you contact the website is going to be a bit different each time. If I go ahead and pull back up this guy, we could see here that right away, it might take me some searching around to go ahead and figure out how to contact them. There might be some contacts down here, stuff like that as well. But usually if you're on newspaper sites, you might be able to create an account or something like that as well. And feel free to do research. Very, very basic questions on Google always help out a ton. For instance, let's see here. So I went ahead and on Google, I could go ahead and try to type in some questions like, how do I get an article on Chicago Reader? How do I contact readers and stuff as well? There's going to be some more information here too. And we see here after I typed it in, I can say, how do I contact the Chicago Reader? And then I can make an appointment in advance, and I could go ahead and see the information here. Now, you guys don't need to actually contact these people to make sure that it all works, but definitely doing the research. Instead of saying what I said here, I can maybe create an account. You can also go ahead and do some more research in depth as well. Say, I'm going to contact the Chicago Reader at their at their phone number and try to ask for the specific department. And then I might be able to see the department that I want from here, right? So we could see that this is underneath the, let's see here. If there's some criteria here, there's a recommended criteria and some ice cream criteria. So I might be able to contact the Chicago Reader and say, hey, I would like a posting on your ice cream area of the website there. We can see our Black Dog Gelatos twice. It actually has 5 stars too, which is great. And of course, there's one in the Ukrainian village, as we saw. Cool. And now I only did it once, but you guys are going to need to do this 5 times with 5 different websites. And feel free to explore as much as you would like with them. Don't feel that you only need to use the newspapers for it. Feel free to use some other areas. If you have a blog with someone that you would really like to have showcase it off, that's cool too. Let's say that you have like a technological company that makes really advanced products. There might be a YouTuber or an Instagram influencer person that is all about those. And maybe you could contact them and they could have a link on their blog or in one of their videos to contact back to your website. So again, this is up to you guys. It's very broad aspect, but I just went ahead and showed you a process of doing it for an ice cream example. And of course, feel free to do this repeated. Like, feel free to use Open Link Profiler or the other ones that we saw as well to get the backlinks. Let me show the backlinks here again. Moz again has some backlinks that we can use to help out with this as well. We could get, oh, I forgot that was the one that was the paywall. But there was a few that we went through earlier to help out with grabbing the backlinks too. So make sure that you can go ahead and reference the backlink tools. And I used, as a reminder, the one I used was Open Link Profiler. But there's a lot of information in Open Link Profiler itself. As we see here, when I go ahead and research with Open Link Profiler, I get quite a bit of various information on all these links here. And we could see that, again, the similar process for researching these will work. Maybe I could grab this guy. And again, Black Dog Gelato isn't the website I'm making. It's just a competitor that I think might help us show off what places I might want to be posted on. And we could see in Thrillist, this is a pretty nice one as well. And of course, we could see here that we have a lot of information at the bottom for their different their social media, but we might be able to contact them as well. Cool. So great. Does anyone have any questions or concerns on Capstone Project Part 3? Again, I talked a ton, but the general idea is you will try to find 5 other websites that you feel would be very effective for linking back to your website, and then providing an explanation as to why you think those are effective and how you will contact them. The PowerPoint should be at least 7 slides and a maximum of 10, and make sure that you submit the PowerPoint file into Moodle. Great. So as I said, does anyone have any questions or concerns on this? There. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Ruth. Great. Excellent. It's so awesome. So let me, this one here. Great.